Hello everybody, welcome back to the United Stand. Your look ahead, your preview to the game here tomorrow night against Brentford. United's comeback game. How many times have we said that this season? It's a very important game, this one. How many times have I said that? It seems to be every single game's an important game right now, but this one's more of a reaction to something that's not happened so far this season. Something that Manchester United are having to deal with for the first time, which is no win in 3 games in the Premier League. And added to that, no goals in 3 games in the Premier League, off the back of 2 bad defeats to Liverpool and to Newcastle last weekend. And obviously that poor result against Southampton in the middle. Ten Hag has been talking in his pre-match press conference. He's been talking about United's form and how he isn't concerned about Manchester United's form. He shouldn't be. He's looking at the game since then. He said we had to play 60 minutes against Southampton. We beat Newcastle 2-0 in the final. We've beaten Fulham 3-1, so he's not concerned. He sees goals in this Manchester United team and he sees Manchester United bouncing back, and he's not really concerned with the form right now. I mean, deep down he probably is, and he is probably grilling the players on the training ground and dealing with a lot of other things, especially after what he said after that Newcastle game. The words coming out of Ten Hag's mouth, how Newcastle wanted it more, is just not acceptable in a Manchester United shirt for any of the United players, and I don't think it's acceptable under Ten Hag, which is why I can see a few changes for tomorrow night's game. I can see Manchester United coming out with a different outlook, a different determination, and will not be outrun, will not be outfought, definitely not here on the Old Trafford pitch, where Manchester United's form this season has been outstanding, the best defensive record here at Old Trafford, considering how many goals we've conceded away from home this season. It's complete contrast to what it is at Old Trafford. 8 goals only conceded at home this season. The away form is the away form. It's not great, and the home form has been that strong. It's held that them bad results away from home up most of this season. And then you look at it and you go, and you can see where Ten Hag's argument is, where he's not too concerned. Big games that we have struggled, one-off games, you're not going to get Brentford 4-0, City 6-3, Liverpool 7-0. You're not going to get them games next season. United just have to adapt to dealing with certain games and certain occasions, emotions and atmospheres like we haven't done well this season with, and then put that into next season. Because when you look at the away form in general, in total this season, we are 4th best in the league, joint 4th best in terms of points. Yeah, the goal difference is shocking. I think it's minus 12. It is pretty bad. I can't remember what it was, but it's bad. Yeah, and it does look horrible on paper. But the table never lies, and Manchester United are in the best form, top 4 in the league at home, and one of the top 4 for form away from home as well. So we're picking up points, we're getting them results, but he is concerned about that away form and wants to turn the home form that we have here at Old Trafford and move that across to the away standings. And do you know what? I can see that is the difference, and I think we can all see as Manchester United fans, that's where United just need to improve. That bit of character and that mentality away from home when the going gets tough, because it did look like when that first goal went in for Newcastle, it was pretty much the same as when we were dealing with the onslaught that was coming from Liverpool away from home. It was like, oh, just about to give up, we can't get back in this, we're unlucky, we're unfortunate, it's just not our day again. Well, no, that's not going to happen. We can't let that happen. And I think that's Ten Hag's next stage and his next development of this squad. It will come in time, whether that comes in changes in the summer. But the one thing we have to look at right now is getting through into the Champions League and having to bounce back and deal with the adversity of these horrible results that we're dealing with. Is part of this season and part of the learning curve for this squad and Ten Hag. Let's not forget we're in a miles better place than what we was last season. Brentford was a big learning curve at the start of this season. I can't see us getting anywhere near that sort of result here again when we play them at Old Trafford. I think it will be a chance for United to put some wrongs right, in effect, because there was massive criticism after that away game early on the season. A lot of people were fearing even for Ten Hag's job. That's how bad that game was. To be done and dusted so early in a game against a team, no disrespect to Brentford, who are seen as a mid-table, only been in the Premier League a couple of seasons, it was the ultimate disaster. It couldn't have got any worse. Well, we've seen results this season that have been worse, yet against our biggest rivals as well, just to rub salt in the wound. But the determination from this team to get forward and improve on last season, you can see is very clear. Good news already this week in Luke Shaw signing his new contract. That's great news. First of many, I think, over the next coming weeks. It's business as usual in terms of Manchester United. The takeover talk is being put aside and United are conducting their normal procedures and businesses as normal. Contracts, extensions, players leaving the club, transfers coming in. It's all the same as it was. Doesn't matter what happens with the takeover. It's just the way it's going to be. Football comes first though. We've got a lot of games to go and this is the start of a big running now for Manchester United. 2 home games in a week. Brentford here tomorrow night and obviously Everton on Saturday at the early kick-off. Tottenham went back into top 4 and obviously the Newcastle replaced us in 3rd this weekend. Not good. First time we've been out the top 4 in about 3 months, I think it's been. Feels weird, doesn't feel right. We've got a chance to put that right tonight with our game in hand on Tottenham. Obviously Newcastle, no easy game against West Ham away from home, obviously fighting relegation with David Moyes. So you never know, we could get results our way. We've got to look after ourselves. We've got to get our game done and dusted and win our game first, obviously, yeah, but a chance here at home with our own form to put them wrongs right from weekend. We'll deal with the away games as and when they come, and we've got some tough ones coming, but the one thing we must do is win our home games and take advantage of that, because that's where we have climbed that table this season and, well, up until the weekend solidified that top 4 spot. Only through the amount of games we've had in cup competitions have other teams been able to catch us really and put that pressure on, and that was this weekend. That's when it came to a head, and for us we just got to react to that now. We've got to put that aside, which I think we can do, and then move on, get the result here. It doesn't matter what score it is, we've just got to concentrate on results now. As bad as it is, I've said it before in many videos, I think I said it after Newcastle as well, we just haven't got that 4 or 5-0 win in us. We just haven't got that in this team. The disruption up front and the lack of numbers in the forward players and the strikers has really hampered us. I mean, I think I've seen every single pundit blame the Newcastle result on not having a striker in January. There's no excuse for me. You can't use the ownership of Manchester United as an excuse for why we didn't beat Newcastle that weekend. Newcastle wanted it more than us, and it's as simple as that. We didn't perform on the day. So looking at the long run, yeah, there is an issue with the Glazers and investment in helping Ten Hag and bringing that striker in. Well, I'm not going to use that as an excuse for why Newcastle beat us. They deserved the win. They got the win. We didn't deserve anything out of that game, and that's how it goes. So it's now down to the players to turn that around against Brentford. Brentford, as we know, tough. They've gone away to City this season and beat them. And their away form is not great, but they have got that big result. I mean, look how close they pushed Arsenal. You know, I mean, they've been away to the top 2 and got results this season. So this is no foregone conclusion. I just feel like there is a massive reaction coming from United in this game. There has to be, and it's why I'm going with the United win. Otherwise, on paper, I'm looking at this and I'm going, this could easily be a draw. And if it was a draw, no one would be surprised. The way that Brentford have gone about the business this season, we know that they've beaten us 4-0 already at their place. Away from home, I said, yeah, it's different. But a result at Arsenal, a result at City, the best 2 teams in the league right now, you've got to look at that and you've got to go, well, this is a dangerous game for Manchester United. We cannot take them for granted. Ivan Toney in great form. Lots of players for Manchester United to worry about going forward. And it's a nice little schoolship going on here behind the scenes as well. Loving the teacher control here right now as well. So yeah, yeah, got to thank the Manchester teachers, whoever this school's from, for ruining the video. Well, it's not. Everyone deserves a day out, don't they? But it's just a new line of things happening while I stand here outside Old Trafford and try and do these videos. At least the coach didn't try to drive past us this time. Thankfully, that guy there in that coach, as the coach driver, sorry, should I say, I was just parked further down the road. But yeah, getting back to where we was, Brentford. We know the dangers they bring. We know what game it's going to be. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be hard. It's going to be close. I've gone 3-1. I just feel like there's a late goal just to finish things off. For United, 2-1, 1-0-ish. But then United catch them on the break as they try to go forward. I just feel like it's that sort of game again. I don't think it's going to be a comfortable watch though. I think Brentford are going to cause us problems. I think our defence is going to have to be on the ball. I'm not worried about that. Only thing I said, it's like after the Newcastle game, the forwards have to bail us out really. They have to give us more because that defence is carrying this team forward this season and we can't have an off day. We've seen what happened when we had an off day. When Varane switched off, got caught in the ball, Newcastle They got the throw in from United trying to play out from the back. From there they won the ball back and got the goal. Luke Shaw giving a silly free kick away, 2-0, bang bang. United can't come back from that. The forwards have to put the ball in the back of the net and take the pressure off the defence. I think our defence can handle Brentford. I'm confident in it. But you know what? It's a team. One half of the team can't hold it up all the time. The forwards have to do more, and if Rashford isn't scoring goals, someone else has to step forward. We're too reliant on Marcus Rashford this season with goals. That's where United win this game. We need to be on the front foot. We need to be taking the game to Brentford. We can't let them settle and get confident, because when they are confident, that's when they'll see them results that they've had against City and Arsenal and go, let's do this again on the big occasion here at Old Trafford. That's what Thomas Frank's team have got in their locker, and they will come here with zero fear. That's what we cannot have. We have to take the game to them early and remind them of where they're playing here at Old Trafford, because if they get any sort of foothold in this game, it's going to be a hard watch for United, and they will more than match us. We've seen it already. We know what's coming from Brentford. It was one of my worst days this season earlier on, in the sun down there in London earlier on this season, and it can happen again. You switch off for a minute, you'll get punished in the Premier League, and Brentford are the biggest advocate of that in this season already with the results that they've had. That's it for now, people. Do share, do like the video, and subscribe to the United Stand. There's more to come, and hopefully I'll be talking outside here after the game about United win and us being back in that top four, looking ahead to Everton at weekend as well. Speak to you soon, people.